Welcome back, everyone. We're jumping right into the awesome Predator universe today, but we're not talking about the latest movies. Instead, we're taking a trip back to the days when the Yautja were still known as Hish. I get it, everyone's still buzzing about the new Predator releases, but it's super important to understand what their ancestors were like before they became such a high-tech race. So, without any delays, let's descend into the Hish-Qu-Ten Clan, the ancient relatives of the Yautja. If this is your first time hearing about this ancient predator clan, then you're in for a treat with this video. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves though, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to the channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Origins of the Hish-Qu-Ten Clan. The Hish-Qu-Ten, which translates to the people who take territory in their language, were commonly known as the Hish. They are recognized as the ancient ancestors of the Yautja species. The clan made its debut in the expanded universe of the Predator franchise, spotlighted in particular in John Shirley's novel Predator: Forever Midnight. This book provides a thorough introduction to the clan, showcasing them as a distinct faction within the wide predator species. The Hish were created in order to drive into different parts of predator culture and biology, giving us a glimpse at how diverse the species actually is. So, let's descend into the backstory of the Hish-Qu-Ten Clan. Since the Hish were ancient ancestors of the Yautja, they can easily be considered a technologically primitive civilization. At one point, the advanced alien race called the Amengi completely took control of the Hish people. The Hish were enslaved for several centuries and lived in terrible conditions under Amengi rule. However, a Hish named Caill led a major revolution that helped the Hish-Qu-Ten overthrow their captors. This revolt was brutal, bloody, and large-scale. With the Hish emerging victorious after the rebellion, they enslaved the remaining Amengi and assimilated their technology, working on advancing it further over the years. Caill became a legendary figure in the Hish-Qu-Ten Clan, as well as in Yautja culture, and even came to be known as the first hunter. Hish clan's work and physiological traits. As a race of aliens, the clan's primary work is to hunt. They find joy in hunting other species such as humans and the Karna, a reptilian race often referred to as lizard men. Additionally, they have a keen interest in capturing certain species to turn into slaves, particularly those that have already been conditioned for such a fate, like the Amengi. They usually use less honorable methods and often rely on tricks to weaken their prey. These tricks include airstrikes from ships, mind-controlled sleeper agents, remote-controlled children, and robotic drones. When they finally come out to hunt, they strike with such force that their prey has little chance of a fair fight. Now, let's talk about their physiological traits. The Hish are a cold-blooded reptilian species that developed in the steamy conditions of a hot swamp planet. With a humanoid appearance, they stand at an impressive 8 feet tall, towering over most humans. Not only are they physically agile and incredibly strong, but the Hish are even more powerful than the most athletic humans. However, Hish individuals have a flaw. They're impulsive, often driven by their biological instincts. One of the most dangerous impulses is triggered by the activation of their kill gland, which heightens their aggressive tendencies. But what is this kill gland? The kill gland is an evolutionary feature that the Hish had many centuries ago before they developed faster-than-light travel. The small cherry-red gland located beneath the clavicle plays a crucial role in producing a powerful hormone when stimulated, which triggers a violent rage in the Hish. The increased strength from the gland makes them want to kill anything within arm's reach. It seems like the logical part of their thinking just shuts down, guided by pure bloodlust. In the ancient swamps of the Hish homeworld, getting by wasn't easy, and the locals had to come up with some smart ways to survive. A Hish named Mas Tial stepped up and showed everyone how to keep their urges from that gland in check. The Hish are a sequential hermaphroditic race, meaning they can change their gender multiple times throughout their lives. These changes occur involuntarily and can be triggered randomly. They always have 6 offspring, called spawnlings, at a time. Males and females look very familiar, but you can tell females apart by their brighter colored dreadlocks and the purple mottling around their jaws. The Hish have been living on a swampy planet for a long time, so they've adapted to survive underwater for up to 20 minutes. They've got this cool gas sac that keeps extra air stored up, which helps them get around in the water without any problems. The language and social traits of the Hish-Qu-Ten Clan. The Hish language is super complex and relies on some unique guttural sounds that come from the way the Hish mouths are shaped. While we don't know much about it, it seems like they communicate through vocal noises, body gestures, and maybe even some tech tools. With their advanced gadgets and clever hunting tactics, communication is essential for working together and keeping their social structure in check. The only term we clearly know the meaning of is Hish-Qu-Ten, which again translates to the people who take territory. Alongside this, we have Cuck, meaning grip, Shesh, which signifies strong, and Huck, translating to kill. Let's move beyond language. It's time we dive into their society. The Hish society has a clear hierarchy. One leader, the exquisitely blooded Great Hierarch, rules over the Hish race. The race is divided into clans, each led by a clan leader. The Great Hierarch has the final say on important matters, but is advised by the conclave of clans. This council consists of 4 members from the most influential clans. Despite this structure, the Hish prioritize their independence as well. For example, Shesh Cuck ignored the conclave's wishes and acted on his own. To him, following the conclave was more about formality than respect. This attitude is different from most hunters who usually don't challenge the established hierarchy. Hish society is based on clans and families. Each clan has a small fleet of ships, including at least one mothership. While most Hish go hunting on the planet, the young, called spawnlings, usually stay on the mothership. Every clan has its own rules, ceremonies, and traditions, and they expect strict adherence to them. Some individuals have questioned whether the clans come together in unity or are in conflict with one another. The answer to that question is the one instance when 2 clans tried to merge to avoid destruction. However, the strong-willed members found it very difficult to get along. Their stubbornness led to the failure of the merger, ending in the destruction of a hunting party made up of members from both clans. The Hish-Qu-Ten Clan's notable members. Caill. Caill, often called the First Hunter or Alpha Predator, is a legendary Hish clan member who led a huge rebellion against the Amengi, who were the rulers of Yautja Prime back then. His win over the cruel Amengi and their enslavement made him a legendary figure among the Yautja and Hish society. Many believe that his name translates to rage, which totally fits because it was his intense fury that finally set his clan free. Like many other Hish, he was enhanced with chemicals and trained to fight for the entertainment of his captors. Once he grew up, the enhancement made him the largest and fiercest among the Hish. He was respected and feared by both peers and captors. Following the Amengi Revolution, Caill retrieved one of the larger Amengi carcasses and crafted a mask and body armor from its exoskeleton. During the rebellion, much of his gear and weaponry were primitive, primarily made from bones. However, after their clan adopted Amengi technology, he was able to enhance his equipment with more advanced gear, including a cloak, a plasma caster, a wrist gauntlet in both hands, and a self-destruct device. Additionally, he upgraded his mask into a biomask, further improving his capabilities. Shesh Cuck. Shesh Cuck is the leader of a large Hish hunting group sent to the predator planet called Midnight. He's ruthless and careful in his methods. He has a strong hatred for humans, often referring to them as tall monkeys. He tried to use experimental mind control technology on several humans on Midnight to kill other humans. One of the humans Shesh Cuck experimented on was Roy Mannon. He thinks of himself as some kind of elite and only follows orders from Belcan, the predator leader, and that makes him feel pretty untouchable. His clan is seen as dishonorable by most predators because they target unarmed human women and kids. Shesh Cuck even shows his young ones how to take pride in this kind of hunting, even if it's frowned upon. Based on what we know from limited sources, Shesh Cuck also doesn't care about the safety of his crew and even threatens to kill them or throw them out of airlocks. However, he cares for his spawnlings, especially Shesh Turk, his favorite. He is seen wearing a bulkier helmet than what's typically seen on Yautja, featuring a design that closely resembles Celtic's. He's also equipped with exceptionally long wrist blades. Goref! Even though there isn't much information about this clan member, it's clear that Goref was an old hunter, a Hish with a ton of experience. Like half a thousand hunts under his belt kind of experience. If he wasn't good at what he did, he wouldn't have made the list, but over time, his last hunt really took a toll on him, and now he's pretty much just a ship worker, living that retirement life. Word is, if Goref messes up the task, he'll get recycled, and nobody really knows what that means, but you can probably guess it involves being thrown out into space. Mersh Trep. Mersh Trep has an important job on the Hish-Qu-Ten mothership. As a Hish warrior, Mersh guards the mothership, holding the Hish offspring when most adult Hish go hunting on different planets. He's 65 years old, which Shesh Cuck says is very young for a Yautja. Most people believe he's skilled and armed with almost every predator weapon because he protects future hunters, even though this isn't mentioned anywhere. Calypsis. Calypsis is a key member of the Hish clan and a loyal follower of Shesh Cuck. Calypsis can change from male to female because of their unique biology, which makes Shesh Cuck feel uneasy. He's unsure if Calypsis's behavior shows a hidden agenda/treachery or a desire to mate, both of which he finds unpleasant. Calypsis is called an under-warrior, kind of like an Uno reverse card, who can turn the tide in favor of the Hish clan when facing challenges. Belcan. There is very limited information about Belcan, but he is called the exquisitely blooded hierarch, or the greater supreme of the Hish race. He is the leader of the main head in the conclave of clans and sent Shesh Cuck to target the human colonists on Midnight, the safari planet. Belcan wanted to see if humans could be the next slave race after the Amengi. Since Belcan is the primary hierarch, it could only mean one thing: they possess exceptional skill and intelligence as they hold the reins of the entire clan. Hish clan's transition to Yautja. The evolution of the Hish-Qu-Ten to the Yautja represents a significant transformation which didn't occur in just one day. This transformation took time and a variety of factors like revolution, technological assimilation, and the establishment of a clan-based societal structure. For instance, in the early days, the Hish-Qu-Ten exhibited a range of primitive characteristics like the presence of a kill gland and the ability to change sex as needed, traits which helped them survive in their early existence. But over time, the community, which was once under subjugation, really changed and became more organized and polished in the way they live. The revolutionary changes they went through led them to switch from simple hunting tools made of bone to assimilating and developing advanced gadgets from their captors' technology made from plasma. This shift was super important for their growth and really improved how they hunted. The more their tools got better and technologically modern, the more they became skilled and sharp hunters. Initially, the Hish were more aggressive, kind of like overlords who wanted to control lesser males and were more brutal than the Yautja we know today, but the growth of a clan-based society really shaped a culture that valued honor, tradition, and the rituals performed before the young ones embarked on their hunting journeys. Because of this, the Yautja developed into a unique species, slowly moving away from a lot of the primal traits they got from the Hish-Qu-Ten. One thing that should be marked as a big change was when the Hish started to lose their kill gland, the one that made them violent killing machines. It marked the beginning of the Hish moving beyond the path of basic carnal instinct to building a more complex identity based on values like honor, respect for the hunt, and strong community ties. Marvelous verdict! Even though the clan was an attempt to reimagine predator culture, or was thought to be an alternate version of the Yautja, it unfortunately clashes with much of the established predator and Yautja lore depicted in other novels, comics, and movies. As fans are most used to the honor-coded Yautja, reading a book that portrays them as ravenous, sadistic hunters is a little upsetting. Despite being a non-canonical event, the book is disliked by major Yautja fandoms, but what are your thoughts about these ancient Yautja ancestors? Do you agree with the majority, or do you think it's still a plausible explanation for their evolution? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and until next time, have a marvelous day.